Hey everyone, it's Pauline here. I thought I would just jump in and say hi, chat, and I am standing in front of this series that I just kind of happened upon. This is my Just Enough series, and it kind of just happened, and I thought I would just share it with you. If you've been following along with me, you will see that I have 7 paintings already. And this wasn't planned, but I have to say it's been really amazing and quite illuminating. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. It's been a really busy couple of years, and I am finally getting out of the woods with all the tech stuff. I still have tech work. And of course, many of you know that I do a couple of courses, one of which is coming up, the Intuitive Composition course spring, but I also mentor several artists in a membership. Anyway, long story short, lots of tech stuff, but to offset that, I finally got into painting large again. And these pieces that I've been doing in the last week, because I've got 7, they just came about by me trying to find ways to offset all the tech work. Now, like I said, I've been doing a lot of tech work. And when I say that is, I just moved my course, Intuitive Composition, the one that's coming up spring. I've moved it from one platform to another. And that is a huge undertaking. And you really have to stay dialed in so that I don't lose track of what I've moved and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so it was a real commitment for about 4 months, and I have been painting larger. I'm super excited about that. It's a stretch though. When you've been working a certain way for a while, whether it's small or if you only have a certain amount of time and that's how you have got in a routine of working, a phone call came in, to shift from being one way of working to another way, it takes some time to kind of get into the groove. So this particular series is something that I just got going because I needed an outlet. It started while I was just sort of playing around. You might see that video in my grid where I was working on the floor and I was trying out some just warm-up exercises. And then I decided to work on paper. And so I've got this series here that, I've got them in order, which is kind of cool. So this first one here was my very first one. Let me just pull the camera up. And with that one there, I used, let me just move the camera a little bit there. I used red oxide, and it was a translucent paint, which was really beautiful to use on paper, as well as do it quickly so I could see some results. Now, the whole point of this series was about connecting creatively without noodling and making a really full-on developed piece so that I could stay juiced and connected with my art, but not invest in the kind of time that I do on paintings. And to be honest, I was getting a little tired of how hard I was working. So this series kind of came as a way for me to jump into creativity and drop the responsibilities that I felt like I was putting on myself by working a painting over and over and over. So thanks, Claire. So that red oxide, yeah, it's such a gorgeous color, and it's beautiful with the little hints of turquoise in here. So I used a color shaper to move the paint around, and the beautiful thing about that is you get these layers, which makes your color darker. And I also found it I just wanted to go for impact. I think the first time that I did this series, this work on paper. So this is a nice paper. It's about 140 pound. It's on a pad, and so I can just quickly tape it off. It wasn't super expensive, but it's hardy enough so that I could, abuse it a little bit. Anyway, that was my first one. And the second one here, there we go, is a couple of blues that I have, some turquoise, and some earth tones that I had on my palette already. And that, again, was about being able to jump into my work and not spend a lot of time worrying about getting the right colors or whatever. So this is the end of palette, end of day paint, because I had been working on the weekend. And with that then being on a wet palette, that paint was thinner. The red one here, that was straight out of the tube, although I had diluted that red oxide with a little bit of water so it would run, move more. I have a bottle of that all ready to go, but this is end of the day paint on a wet palette, so it's still on the palette. And so these colors, they're just beautiful together. Again, this one was made really quickly. That one there was maybe 15 minutes max. Same with this one, because it was all about jumping into creativity and letting go of perfectionism, overworking, still thinking about design, definitely tapping into my intuition. And that dance between intuition and design sense was what I was really trying to tap into and hone in on. There are two kind of things going on, not necessarily at the same time, but pretty close, right? And this is what I talk about a lot in intuitive composition that's coming up, that dance between intuition and your design sense, because you got to have both of those going on. And I'm not saying all of these are super successful either. The whole point of them, this Just Enough series, is about me having fun, exploring, getting connected with my creativity so I can still stay engaged with my responsibilities for all the tech work that I was doing. And I'm happy to say that that is done now. So here's the next one. I thought it'd be fun to show you all these together because they're all in my grid, and you can see part of the creation of these. And so this one here, again, is end of palette. I've got some Payne's Gray in there, some turquoise. These are different companies as well. I'm using all sorts of companies' paint from, gosh darn it. So I'm in Canada. So there I've got paint from Golden. I've got Amsterdam. There's a company called Descriptor that I use their paint, as well as Opus. It doesn't matter to me what I'm using. I mean, I don't go to the dollar store for paint, but I want to appreciate the qualities that the paint can offer me. And some paints are actually more transparent than others because the pigment load is lower. And that's nice when you want to do translucent work. Anyway, in here, there is a lot of stuff: charcoal, water-soluble crayons, oil pastel, I was just diving in. And, I have to say that these two, the light blue gray ones, I really love them, but they did feel a bit complex as well, which is why when I went to this one, I was trying to rein it in a little bit. Sorry about the camera shaking. And, what's really, really exciting for me about doing this, besides that it's giving me, kind of almost like a purpose, so I can disengage from the computer work that I've been doing. God knows I have to get onto my website and update that too. But this was like, oh, great, I get to do this at the end of the day or whenever I want. And so this one here, I thought, okay, I want to challenge myself to do something different and quieter. And it was going okay. There was an area at the top here that kind of got away on me a little bit. But we know what that's like, right? You have to trust yourself. This is the thing. When I've been doing this series, because I've created some parameters for myself, get in, get out, take the tape off, because it's about enjoying the process, tapping into my creativity, but not laboring it, because it's about embracing, following my ideas, and keeping myself juiced. So the criteria has kept me pretty honed in on what it is that I want from the series, and also what I'm trying to extract from myself. So what I found is that when I tightened that range up and the time limit, I started to make more strategic decisions. Sometimes I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You can get a painting and it's fun and you're moving paint around and you forget what it is that you were even doing or what your intention was, because you get pulled by various techniques and effects and things like that. So this one here, I remember doing this one and thinking, gosh, it's going pretty good. And then this area at the top here, I kind of lost it a little. Pulled it back a bit by bringing in white paint and that sort of thing, and that really helped. But I didn't go back into it again. I thought it's okay, we're going to leave it, because the whole idea is about tapping into my creativity and also the learning. Now this one here, this one I did this on the weekend, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, really stressful weekend. An event that occurred, it's all handled now, but it was really on my mind, and I find this one here is like the least of my favorites. I remember just being discombobulated, still doing my Just Enough series, and that I feel like I got that caught in there, Clara says, I loved how you used the back of a spoon to make the marks. Oh, I think that's in the next one. Yeah, Clara. Let me read it out, because I know this is going to go away once I post this. To make marks in one of the pieces, great exercise. I need to try this. I think it would be really good for me, as I can have a tendency to overwork. Yeah, we do. And so this is the thing. When I was in on this one, I knew, okay, that one there was an area that got away on me. This one here really got away on me, And I knew that it was probably because I was stressed. And even though I was trying not to be stressed, the mind can only manage so much. And so I was like, but it was coming out in here, and I kind of joked about how I was going around and round. I was going around and around in my head, and I was going around and around in this painting too. And by the way, when I'm having a stressful day, I never go into a painting that's going great. Never. However, doing this one was really amazing, because I could see my struggle both mentally and emotionally, and it was coming out in this work. So that's fine. It's part of my series. It's given me what I needed. And I found that the dance of intuition and design, they were just not clicking on this one here. So, and I was thinking too, before I go to the next one, I have been making videos of these all along, and I know exactly what was going on when I was working on them. I'm thinking that I might actually, as a bonus, bring this. One of these I think it'd be a really great bonus to add to my intuitive composition course spring. It's already been designed and it's got lots of bonuses in already, but I think it would just add some pretty awesome value for me to bring a couple of these paintings and the painting process, which I have recorded, and then talk you through, whoever's taking the course, talk you through what was going on for me in my mind, and for me emotionally and design-wise, which I do in the intuitive composition course anyway. When I do demos, that's really a lot of what I'm talking about, is what's behind my decision-making process. because that's really the mystery, isn't it? All right, so this one here, I love this one. This one is like spring. It's a contrast to the one that I just went through. Also, that stressful thing that happened on the weekend, neighbors. Anyway, I needed something to offset that, and now the stress was down. Isn't that amazing? So I reached for yellow. I also wanted to change up the colors because this has been about grabbing onto my creativity and also pushing myself. Like I am, coming up to a really nice open spot while I'm running the intuitive composition course. I can paint more again because I'm prepared, and so now I have some more space. But this is helping me get there, and so I'm excited. And yes, I know this probably matches, but I reached for some colors that were joyous and fun and different for me because I've been using these more muted and cool colors. And again, all of these are limited palettes, and I'm thinking about how I can, just explore the kind of things that I love to do, which is a lot of line work. And I do try to rein myself in on the line work, but it's hard. I can't help it. Anyway, this one here, I just love. It was so much fun. The colors, there is, okay, what are the colors? Because I'm sure you'd love to know that. I've already told you about the other ones. This gorgeous green is made with yellow and black. And then I've also used, I've used a couple of other yellows that are, a little bit, okay, so what was it? It was a cad yellow, light or medium, and then I would nudge it up or down because I didn't want it to go too wide. I didn't want it to go too far away, right? I was trying to keep my palette in, keep it limited. But I've also used some deep cad with the line work and, whites, grays, and that kind of thing because they were fitting in well with this green. I've also used some green paint. Not green paint, but I made a darker green with the yellow and the black. Yeah, and I do believe I even used some Payne's gray to mix with my yellow to get a different kind of black. You're pulling that a little bit of that blue in. Anyway, this is my absolute fave. Absolute. Okay, the last one, which is the one that I did last night. Again, I was trying to push myself. Okay, let's be risky here. And color's not that risky, but as a contrast, because I've been painting with a limited palette and also cooler colors, probably so that I could keep my world calm. Spring is here, and so the coolness of the winter and the blues from the sky and the mountains are starting to green up, so I wanted to shift. This one here is the one that I did yesterday. Sorry about that. I almost tripped over my painting down there. This one, oh my gosh. I'm just going to move this painting here. I'll have to say this color here is, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll tell you how I made this. This is a gorgeous red. And I mixed, where is it? It's a cad red, medium. But then I added red oxide. I wanted to push it into that orange. And then I added a little bit of cobalt blue to bring it down a little. So it wasn't so vibrant because the vibrancy was just a little bit too much for me. And this was a hard painting to do. So let me just step out of the way a little bit. Because it was such a leap from where I had been working with the cool palettes and the spring colors, even the yellow green one over there. Yes, I know we match. I didn't plan this. That was a leap for me, and I have to say this one felt like it was getting away on me as well. Crazy, right? Now, one of the things that I absolutely love, first of all, like I said, there's a red in there, and I mixed the red oxide to push that red into the with an orange undertone, and there's that transparency coming, mixing in with that paint. The blue to tone that down a little so it wasn't so vibrant. It's still really vibrant. But these greens here, like the turquoise on that red and orange is amazing. And I also used oranges, pinks, and even some fleshy color, which I have to admit, once that went on, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? That fleshy tone, when I put it on there, that was one of my lights, really threw me off. However, trust, right? Just enjoy the process. You know, I reached for that because intellectually it made sense, the light. Intuitively, I just wanted it. I wanted to, design-wise, have the color fit in, but it was a little bit too warm and fleshy. But because I had this turquoise here, I had on my palette some of those colors from over there, and I brought in these turquoise, and I added some white and toned it back down again. Rhea, beautiful palette, all less red one is fabulous. Thank you, Rhea. So brought those colors in there, and it was just kind of like, oh, that feels better. And you know, I always had to work it again, like too much orange down here, so painting over that. But this one here probably took me an hour, but I wasn't moving fast. I was really thinking about what I was doing because this was different in contrast to everything that I had been doing recently. And the yellow one, I slowed down for that as well. So, you know, all this kind of stuff, it all feeds into our work, right? And this one here, I'm happy with. It's different. And I got to kind of tap into the things that I love and that feeds me creatively. Let's see if I can get this so you can see them a little bit. I don't know. I'm not getting this right. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because I've been sharing the Just Enough series and you've been able to see my process. And it's a nice lead up for those, I guess that's the other reason why I wanted to share that, is it's a nice lead into the Intuitive Composition course spring that starts May the 6th. But the early bird offer ends this Saturday. And I think that I'd really love to share some of these paintings process in that course as an additional bonus. I mean, the artists get to see tons of what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and I explain what I'm thinking and why I do what I do, which is awesome. So that might be a nice bonus, and I was thinking about that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this. If you have any questions, I'll just quickly scroll through here to see if there are any. Thank you, Claire, for the lovely compliment. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many, which is great. Great. And so just to remind anyone who is thinking about the Intuitive Composition course, early bird ends this Saturday, April the 30th. It'll go right to midnight. So if you're still thinking about it, you can find the information in my bio. And that will click you right into the landing page where you can see the FAQs, and you can read what other artists are saying because the course is run several times. And you know, if there's any questions that you don't get met in the FAQs, then you're welcome to email me. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about getting into that course again. It's a nice reminder again for me, and this has been an amazing journey. One of the things also about, you know, sinking into creating intuitively and knowing that I need to pay attention about design is that I was able to notice what was going on within me and how I wanted my work to feel or look. And I was even able to notice when things were getting away before they really went crazy. So I could just step back and think through, you know, do I need to calm this down? Do I need to step away? All of these pieces were done in one session, which was my goal, right? I didn't want paintings that I was going to come back to and work over and over. It was all about playing around with hooking into my intuition and design and seeing what I could get out of myself. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful and enjoyable. If you have any questions, you know, reach out to me. And again, if you guys, I know there's lots of you already in with the early bird, so I'm excited to be doing the intuitive composition course again with you guys. And again, the early bird price ends this Saturday, April 30, and it starts May 6th. So keep your eye on the Just Enough series. I'm not done yet, and I look forward to working in this amazing course again with all of you. Thanks for popping in. Have a great, great Thursday.